Friendships are the bedrock of our lives. They provide companionship, support, and a sense of belonging. From childhood friendships to deep adult bonds, these relationships shape our experiences. Our friends are the people we celebrate with during times of joy. They offer a shoulder to cry on during moments of sorrow. These connections are essential to our emotional well-being and contribute to a richer, more fulfilling life. Change in friendships can manifest in various ways. Sometimes it's a gradual drift as our lives head in different directions. Other times, it's a sudden shift brought about by a specific event, like a move or a new relationship. Increased work demands or family obligations might reduce the time we invest in a friendship. Our interests may evolve, leading us to connect with others who share our passions. Geographic distance can create a physical barrier. Recognizing these changes can be difficult. We may feel a sense of loss or sadness when a friendship evolves. However, change doesn't necessarily equate to the end of a friendship. It signals a need for adjustment. Navigating changing friendships requires setting realistic expectations. Just as our lives evolve, so do our friendships. Clinging to outdated expectations can lead to disappointment and resentment. People grow, change, and their priorities shift. Instead of focusing on what we think the friendship should be, we can choose to embrace its evolution. This means accepting changes in contact frequency, shared experiences, and emotional intimacy. By releasing the need to control the friendship, we create space for a new kind of connection. Recognizing changes in a friendship often begins with noticing subtle shifts in communication. Perhaps you find yourself initiating conversations more often or receiving shorter replies. These subtle cues might seem insignificant at first. However, if these patterns persist, it could indicate a deeper shift in the friendship dynamic. Another sign might be a growing sense of distance, both physically and emotionally. If you once shared many activities and interests but now find less in common, it could signal a divergence in your paths. This distance can also manifest emotionally. A noticeable decline in emotional closeness could be a sign that the dynamics have shifted. Recognizing a change in friendship dynamics can be difficult. You might notice that invitations to spend time together become more infrequent or last minute. Conversations might revolve primarily around your friend's life. These shifts often occur because life circumstances naturally lead to changes in priorities. When a friend enters a new relationship, starts a family, or takes on demanding career responsibilities, their time and energy become more divided. It's essential to recognize when these changes leave us feeling consistently sidelined. Holding on to a friendship that no longer serves our emotional needs can lead to resentment and disappointment. When we notice signs that a friendship dynamic might be changing, it's essential to engage in honest self-reflection. Ask yourself, how does this friendship make me feel? Do I feel valued and supported? Examine your own expectations for the friendship. Regular emotional check-ins with yourself can be invaluable in navigating these transitions. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with this friend. Prioritizing your own emotional well-being is essential for maintaining healthy relationships. Recognizing changes in friendships involves acknowledging when our needs are no longer being met. This realization can be difficult, often accompanied by feelings of sadness or loss. It's about honoring our own emotional well-being and understanding that we deserve mutually fulfilling relationships. Think about the qualities you value in a friendship: trust, honesty, empathy, support. If you consistently feel unseen or unappreciated, it might be a sign that your needs are not being met. Recognizing this is a step toward creating healthier relationship patterns. Open and honest communication is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. When we sense a shift in a friendship, it can be tempting to avoid difficult conversations. However, suppressing our feelings will only erode the foundation of the relationship. Choosing vulnerability allows us to express our needs and concerns authentically. It's about creating a safe space for both parties to share their perspectives. By embracing vulnerability, we create the opportunity for deeper connection and more fulfilling relationships. Honesty is paramount in navigating changing friendships, but choosing the right time and place is equally important. Initiating a sensitive discussion in a rushed or public environment can hinder open communication. Opt for a time when you and your friend can have a conversation without distractions. Consider a walk in nature or a quiet coffee shop. Avoid serious conversations via text message or social media. By choosing the right time, place, and mode of communication, you set the stage for a more productive exchange. When communicating about changes in a friendship, approach the conversation with empathy. Focus on expressing your own feelings and experiences. Instead of saying, "You've been distant," try, "I've noticed we haven't been connecting as much." By using I statements, you take ownership of your emotions and avoid putting your friend on the defensive. Approach the conversation with a spirit of openness. The goal is to foster a dialogue that allows both of you to feel heard and respected. Open communication is a two-way street. While it's important to express your own feelings, it's equally crucial to listen actively. When your friend is sharing their thoughts, offer your full attention. Put away distractions, make eye contact, and use verbal cues to show you're listening. Avoid interrupting or formulating your response while your friend is speaking. Ask clarifying questions to ensure you're understanding their perspective accurately. By reflecting back what you've heard, you demonstrate empathy. The goal is to foster a deeper understanding of each other's needs and perspectives. Accepting a new normal in a friendship requires a shift in perspective. Just as the seasons change, so do our connections with others. We tend to view friendships through a lens of permanence. However, this rigid expectation can lead to disappointment when faced with inevitable changes. Try to view friendships as dynamic entities, constantly evolving. Some friendships will remain close, while others will transition into a more casual rhythm. By embracing the natural flow of relationships, we open our hearts to new possibilities. Accepting a new normal in a friendship involves releasing outdated expectations. We may hold on to an idealized version of the relationship. It's essential to recognize that our friends are on their own journeys. Clinging to outdated expectations can lead to resentment and frustration. Instead of focusing on what you think the friendship should be, approach the situation with curiosity. Embrace the reality of the present moment. Letting go of expectations creates space for the relationship to evolve organically. Letting go of a friendship, even partially, can be a grieving process. It's natural to feel a sense of loss or sadness. Allow yourself to feel these emotions without judgment. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it's an act of self-compassion. It's about honoring your own emotional well-being. Find healthy ways to process your emotions, like journaling or talking to a trusted friend. Give yourself time and space to heal. Letting go is about creating space for new experiences and connections. As you navigate the transition of a changing friendship, remember that you are not alone. Life is full of opportunities for new connections and experiences. Use this time to explore new hobbies or join social groups. Be open to meeting new people and forming new bonds. Friendships are not a finite resource. Embracing change can lead to a richer social landscape. You might discover an even more fulfilling social life than you ever thought possible. Section 1. Recognizing the need for boundaries. Setting boundaries is an essential aspect of self-care and maintaining healthy relationships. especially when navigating the evolving dynamics of friendships. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or creating distance. They're about protecting our emotional well-being and ensuring that our interactions with others are respectful and fulfilling. Recognizing the need for boundaries often arises when we feel drained, disrespected, or taken advantage of in a friendship. We might find ourselves consistently making excuses for a friend's behavior, sacrificing our own needs to accommodate theirs, or feeling emotionally exhausted after spending time with them. These are all signs that it's time to reevaluate the boundaries within the relationship. It's important to remember that we have the right to protect our time, energy, and emotional well-being. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's an act of self-respect and self-preservation. Just as we have physical boundaries that define our personal space, we also have emotional boundaries that protect our inner world, our thoughts, feelings, and values. When these boundaries are crossed, it can leave us feeling vulnerable, resentful, and emotionally depleted. Once you've recognized the need for boundaries in a friendship, the next step is to define your limits and communicate them clearly and respectfully. This involves identifying the specific behaviors, actions, or situations that are no longer acceptable to you. For example, if a friend consistently cancels plans at the last minute, leaving you feeling disappointed and frustrated, you might set a boundary around giving them multiple chances. You could say something like, "I value our time together, but I find it frustrating when plans are canceled at the last minute. In the future, if something comes up, I'd appreciate it if you could let me know as soon as possible so I can make other arrangements." When communicating your boundaries, use I statements to express your needs and feelings without blaming or accusing your friend. For instance, instead of saying, "You're always late," try framing it as, "I feel disrespected when I'm kept waiting." Remember, setting boundaries is not about controlling your friend's behavior. It's about taking responsibility for your own well-being and communicating your needs in a healthy and assertive way. It's important to be prepared for the possibility of resistance when you start setting boundaries in a friendship. Some friends might react defensively, try to guilt you into backing down, or dismiss your feelings as being too sensitive. Remember that you have the right to set boundaries, even if others don't agree with them. Stay firm in your convictions and reiterate your limits clearly and calmly. Avoid getting drawn into arguments or engaging in defensive behavior. If a friend continues to disregard your boundaries, it's important to set realistic consequences. This might involve limiting contact, declining invitations to events that make you uncomfortable, or even taking a temporary break from the friendship. Remember, setting consequences is not about punishing your friend. It's about protecting yourself from further hurt and disappointment. It's about sending a clear message that your boundaries are not negotiable and that you're serious about prioritizing your own well-being. Setting boundaries is an ongoing process that requires self-awareness, self-compassion, and a commitment to prioritizing your own emotional well-being. It's not a one-time conversation. It's an ongoing practice of checking in with yourself, assessing your needs, and making adjustments as necessary. Remember that it's okay to say no to requests or invitations that don't align with your values, priorities, or emotional capacity. It's okay to take time for yourself, engage in activities that bring you joy, and surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. Practice self-care rituals that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. This might involve spending time in nature, meditating, journaling, listening to music, or engaging in creative pursuits. Remember, you deserve to be in relationships that are mutually fulfilling, respectful, and supportive. By setting healthy boundaries, you create the space for authentic connections that honor your true self. Navigating changing friendships often involves reframing our perspective on loss. While it's natural to grieve the closeness you once shared, it's essential to remember that change is an inherent part of life, and relationships, like individuals, are constantly evolving. Instead of dwelling on what you've lost, try to shift your focus to the new possibilities that these changes present. Perhaps you now have more time and energy to invest in other areas of your life. pursuing passions, deepening existing connections, or simply enjoying solitude and self-discovery. Embrace this period of transition as an opportunity for growth and renewal. Allow yourself to explore new interests, connect with different social circles, and discover hidden facets of your personality. You might be surprised by the unexpected joys and fulfilling connections that emerge when you open yourself to new experiences. Remember that letting go of a friendship or accepting a shift in its dynamics doesn't diminish the value of the memories you shared. Cherish the laughter, the adventures, and the lessons learned, and allow those experiences to shape you into the person you are today. As you move forward, cultivate an attitude of gratitude for the friendships you've had, both past and present. Each connection, regardless of its duration or intensity, has contributed to your journey in some way. Take some time to reflect on the positive aspects of the friendships that have evolved. Remember the laughter you shared, the adventures you embarked on, and the support you offered each other during challenging times. Allow those memories to fill you with warmth and appreciation. Recognize that even friendships that have transitioned or faded have played a role in shaping who you are today. They've taught you valuable lessons about communication, boundaries, and the importance of honoring your own needs. Celebrate the growth you've experienced as a result of these relationships. Acknowledge the ways in which you've evolved, the wisdom you've gained, and the resilience you've developed. Embrace this journey of self-discovery and approach new connections with an open heart and a willingness to embrace the ever-changing tapestry of human relationships. As we conclude our exploration of navigating changing friendships, it's important to remember that connection is an intrinsic human need, woven into the very fabric of our being. While the forms these connections take may shift and evolve throughout our lives, the fundamental longing for belonging, shared experiences, and mutual support remains constant. The friendships we cultivate, nurture, and sometimes release all contribute to the rich tapestry of our lives. They shape our perspectives, broaden our horizons, and provide a sense of belonging in a world that can often feel isolating and overwhelming. Even when friendships transition into a different rhythm, the memories we've created, the lessons we've learned, and the love we've shared continue to hold a special place within our hearts. These connections leave an imprint on our souls, reminding us that we are not alone in navigating the complexities of life. As we move forward, let us approach our relationships with a spirit of openness, understanding, and a willingness to embrace the natural ebb and flow of connection. Let us cherish the friendships that nourish our souls, honor the connections that have served their purpose, and open our hearts to the infinite possibilities of new beginnings. Life is a journey of constant change, a flowing river that carries us through a landscape of diverse experiences, relationships, and seasons of growth. Our friendships, like the tributaries that feed into a larger body of water, ebb and flow, sometimes merging, sometimes diverging, yet always contributing to the richness and complexity of our journey. Just as we wouldn't expect a river to remain static, unchanging in its course, we can't expect our friendships to remain frozen in time. Each interaction, each shared experience, and each season of growth shapes the dynamics of our connections, leading us down new paths and revealing unexpected vistas. Embracing the flow of life and friendship requires a willingness to surrender to the unknown, to release our grip on expectations, and to trust that whatever form our connections take, they are serving a purpose in our journey of growth and self-discovery. Let us approach our relationships with a spirit of curiosity, compassion, and a deep appreciation for the ever-changing tapestry of human connection. Let us celebrate the enduring power of friendship in all its forms, knowing that even in the midst of change, we are eternally connected by the invisible threads of shared experiences, mutual support, and the enduring human need for love and belonging.